So there's a couple parts that if you've been following me, you know that I've wanted to get for the G80 for a while now, but just haven't found the right ones. And that would be a new front lip and a new side skirt. If you remember, this is my original front lip for the G80, and it was the M Performance lip. So this came on the 50R edition car, and while it is a really nice carbon fiber, it just didn't stick out very much, and it was very subtle and a little too modest for what I wanted to do for this build. And of course, if you guys remember getting the hole punched in there and then just seeing a few too many curves here, and I didn't put any kind of slip lower protection on here because it was already busted right when I got it, which was super bummer. But it was PPF'd, so I mean, there's that. But for me, it was already busted and I didn't like the look to begin with, so I wanted to get something different, but I didn't want to get something too aggressive. There's a lot of nice lips out there, but I wanted it to match my OEM Plus look. So Unit 17 makes an OEM Plus lip is what they call it. And literally it's the exact same style as in Performance, 3-piece, but the two side pieces stick out a little bit. And then the front piece is also more aggressive. So instead of that 1/4 inch barely sticking out over the bumper, you're getting about 2, maybe 2.5 to 3 inches. So it gives it a more aggressive look, but not as aggressive as like the Vorsteiner style, for example. So there are more aggressive lips out there, but for this car, this is more or less exactly what I was looking for. And because I wanted to keep that OEM Plus look, so with it being the exact same style as the Performance with the corner pieces and the front, but more aggressive, I think this is a perfect fit for me. It didn't exactly fit exactly as the corner pieces, as you can see right here, where the PPF kind of just is a little bit above, so it sits lower, but it also sits wider. Not a big deal. You probably wouldn't notice it if I hadn't said anything, but those are things that I notice. But for the front, I think that really brings the car together, and it's what I've been looking for. So let me know what you guys think. I'd be curious to think what some of you think regarding this lip. I haven't seen it on any cars in person, although I have seen it online and Instagram, but I haven't seen it in person. So yeah, I'd be curious on what some of you think. So second piece would be the side skirts. I've not always been a huge side skirt guy, but let me back up so we can get a better view here. But if you guys look, so there's a full carbon fiber piece, and in the rear, it has a little small winglet. So the In Performance one that BMW made, like the CS and CSL style, the actual side skirt itself is replaced, and then the rear has the huge lip on it. I didn't like that. I didn't like how that style had the huge wing in the rear, and then if you remember, it also with the diffuser comes around and the huge wing kind of sits up here. So you have a wing here and a wing here in the rear. I didn't like that. Not my favorite style. You know, the M3 is a big car, and you know, it's a GT car more or less. You know, it's a 4-door car, not a 2-door car. So for me, my style, I want to keep it a sleek, kind of a GT car look, but I didn't want just the standard side skirts that were the flat. So I wanted something that was a little bit more different. I think this style that has the small winglet that kicks up in the rear, I think really looks good. And I think more or less this completes the look of the car. So if we come to the other side, you guys can see how you're getting about, which is standard, a couple inches of it sticking out from the bottom of the side skirt, because this is a side skirt extension. And then the small winglet just comes up a couple of inches. And again, I wanted this because I think it really accentuates the body lines, because the M3 has the big wide hips and the body line that comes up right here. So this has a small winglet that comes up, so you still get that kind of accent, but it's not so big that like the CS or CSL style. I think it's too big for my taste. I think it looks better on the M4. Let me know what you guys think, but I think it looks better on the M4 with the wings here and there versus the M3. I think the big body lines and the wide hips of the M3, because the M3 has a kind of a bigger booty. So I think that extension with the small winglet accentuates it better, but keeps it more low profile as well. And that's another reason too that I have the stock carbon in performance deck lid spoiler, and I haven't gone with a high kick because I like the OEM Plus style. If I scoot back and zoom out, I like how the lines of the sedan flow. So you've got the now more aggressive, it wasn't before, but a more aggressive front lip, extensions to make it a little more aggressive with a small winglet. Come to the rear, then you have the stock deck lid spoiler, extensions in the rear, and then of course the in performance diffuser. But I think this is kind of a perfect fit for me. You know, I'm always looking for the right parts. I've had this car for 2 years and I'm still adding aero in certain parts on the car that I haven't found that I liked yet. So for me, I think that a good build takes time. I'm not saying that you can't build a car quick if you knew exactly what you wanted. I just think that on YouTube, especially today, there's a culture of just throwing things at it, as much money as you can, as fast as you can to build a car. And it has its place, it's cool, I guess. But for someone like me, if you follow me, you know the cars I build, I generally keep them, and I'm slowly building my collection. So I'm not in a race. I don't plan on ever selling this car. So I want it to be just how I want it. So when I put something on a car, there's a lot of thought, a lot of intention. My goal is to have it, you know, complement what I've already got on the car and just make it better, not just putting it on there for the sake of it. So your next question is probably, does it rub or scuff on the speed bumps? And the answer to that is, I don't know yet. I just put these on 2 days ago, and I just put the slip low on as well. So the whole front, you guys can see there all the way around, I've got slip low protecting it, and then I've got a dual layer slip low all the way to the rear. If you've never used that before, which if you're watching this, you probably have, but slip low, essentially, pretty common thing, universal bumper scrape guard. It's simple, it's universal in today's world. If you haven't, for the sake of this video, if you haven't used this before, what it is, it's like a thick rubber guard, essentially, like a multi-layer, you know, very strong 3M tape, and it's flexible, it's malleable. You can kind of flex or bend it to however you want in different ways. But, you know, if you hit a curb or it scrapes in the front lip or even the side skirts or a speed bump, I guess, the idea is to hit this and not your carbon fiber. And over time, if it does get beat up, you can just replace it. So super cool piece. Got about 4 or 5 boxes of that. One box is enough to do the front lip, and then a couple more for the side skirts. But I haven't tested it over any speed bumps yet. Now, the other thing is I think the car is sitting too low for my taste. I don't exactly like how it's sitting right now, and I think the side skirts accentuate that and make it look a little bit lower than I want it to be. A lot of you guys might even say it's not low enough, but for me, I want to bring it up just about 1/2 inch, just so it's a little bit higher, because on hard braking and corner entry, I mean, I can't even get a finger here. You know, the shadow is kind of messing up what you're seeing, but if I put my finger here, I mean, I have to go up in here to get my finger over the tire. So it's at or below what the fender is. And, you know, I don't have any issues with it scrubbing now, but hard braking, corner entry, and it's almost flush where I have the spacers on there. It's just a little too much for me, and I want to have the ability to have that suspension work and move and flex, and the car chassis to bounce around a little bit on when you're driving the car harder. So you know, I want to keep that performance aspect there, but still make it look good. So maybe 1/2 inch in the front, bring it up. The rear I like, probably won't mess with the rear, if anything 1/4 inch, but I think the rear is probably good where it's at. So that'll give more performance, still look good in the front, and also keep the front and the side skirts from rubbing, because we are sitting pretty low now. But we'll see. But these parts definitely look better. They bring the car together more of kind of the vision I had for the car to begin with. And I may change my mind. Like I said, I just installed these. I haven't even driven with the car yet. So I may change my mind, but in the beginning, the way they look and the fit, super happy. So let me know what you guys think. I will be doing some driving videos, and I'll update you with if I have any issues with it or if it scrapes a lot, I don't know. But Unit 17 did a good job with these parts, and so far so good. So always, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Catch you on the next one, and keep driving your legacy.